This video actually comes from a question and comment that I recently received. The question was asking how to feel your feelings. So this video will cover, first, what feelings are and why they're important. Then we'll explore some common reasons why many of us don't feel our feelings. And we'll end by talking about how to begin to feel our feelings. So feelings are evolutionarily designed to give us information about how safe or unsafe our environment is. To evolve as a species, this was an incredibly important information. Feelings are actually short-lived, meaning they don't last very long. Actually, research has indicated they last somewhere around 90 seconds as physiological events, which simply means they happen in the body. They map on to sensation shifts or changes in our body, again, giving us information about what's happening around us. They are based in an interpretation of the situation, not objectively necessarily what's happening. Our goal is to decide if what's happening, again, is safe and we can remain in our present location, or if it's unsafe and we might need to do something about it. While our emotions are incredibly important to help us navigate life, so many of us weren't taught by our caregivers how to manage our own emotional feelings. Some of the reasons why are many of our caregivers didn't know how to tend to their emotions themselves. They might have been overwhelmed by their own emotions or our emotions and not showed up to help support us. When we're young, we need that support. We need someone to help us make sense of the emotions we're feeling. We need someone to help support us when we feel overwhelmed. And when we don't have that, as a result of feeling overwhelmed by our emotions, we might distance ourselves. We might check out. We might shut them down or avoid them altogether. Some of us even were taught messages, maybe from our immediate family environment, influenced by culture, by gender, maybe from the mass environment, the culture in which we live. Some of us were taught some emotions aren't acceptable. We shouldn't show them for whatever reason. We might have been told to look on the bright side. Maybe we had experiences in childhood where our emotions had a direct impact, or we were told they had a direct impact on others around us. Stop doing that, you're making me mad, might be something we have heard. All of those messages for us get internalized, and then they become our beliefs around emotions, that some are unacceptable and should be avoided at all costs. So then we do just that, we avoid them ourselves. So how do we do the work of feeling our feelings? We all have feelings. Again, they give us incredibly important information to reconnect with our body and the emotions that live in there, and then to give us the opportunity to practice some new tools where we don't have to check out, run away, numb, or distance ourselves from these feelings. So here are some steps. The first step begins with reconnecting to our body, learning how to be present in our body. Remember, emotions are sensations. They live in our body. If you're like me, as a result of that childhood overwhelm, you might have disconnected from your body or gone away on your spaceship, as I call it. For us, the work begins in learning how to reconnect with our body. In a moment of quiet, focusing on your body. How does it feel? Are there any sensations that are alive, that are present? If you can take that a step further and maybe identify what feeling those sensations might map onto. Is it sadness? Is it grief? Is it anger? What's alive in your body? I'm going to hit pause here, suggesting that those of you who are disconnected from your body, spend some time on that first step. That's not one to quickly pass by to get to step 2, right? We have to first identify the sensations that are alive inside of us before we can take step 2. Being present with those feelings, allowing them to come to an end. What I mean when I say that is, notice when you're playing a role in keeping your feelings alive, and usually that role begins in your mind, right? When you feel the event happening in your body and then you begin to tell yourself a story. Maybe you replay what happened that led to those emotions in your body. Maybe you're rehashing an old past wound that might have happened decades ago because you're remembering it in your mind, right? Step 2 means being present in your body, understanding when you're taking your emotion from your body to your mind, and obviously breaking that habit. So then you can actually aid your body in releasing that feeling. Once we're back in our body and we're not in our mental stories, then we can begin to experiment with what works for you. When you have that energy that you might be coursing through you that you might be calling anger is now a good opportunity to take a walk, or for you might it be a good opportunity to take a bath, to allow that feeling to move through you. And I pose that as a question because only you can know. For me, I had to explore for myself what helps me release my feelings when it's sadness. Does that look different when it's anger? For me, sometimes it does. Experiment, get curious. Does something action make you feel better, moving and shaking your body? Or does something more grounding and relaxing, finding a place to lay or be present on the earth, would that be more helpful? I'd love to hear from those of you out there who are beginning your journey into feeling your feelings. What challenges are you coming up against, and what's been most helpful in your journey?